I managed to come back. It's great. But there are lots of people who are not able to come back home. You know, I had a tour in Europe, and then after that tour in Europe, I flew from Hamburg to Beirut. And the moment I landed in Beirut, checking my phone, and that's when I heard about the whole thing. But what was good for me is I didn't have time to think about it much because I had to prepare. I was like playing the Mozart concerto with an orchestra in Lebanon. I thought that I'll be fine. I'm a positive person by nature, and the other thing is the amount of emails and messages that I got from friends around the world. Like people could say, you know, you want to come and live in Amsterdam, you want to come live in Sweden, you want to come, you know. This is Jordan, this is Amman. I have also like another combination back home, back in Damascus. You know, in the last 6 years as a Syrian, I now put the obstacles into perspective. I mean, some people, when you think about what happened in Syria in the last 6 years, I mean, this is nothing in comparison. I mean, some people lost their loved ones, some people lost their homes altogether. And luckily, within these few days between when the order was issued until I took my flight, green card holders were no longer included in the ban. So I managed to fly back normally.
The reporter from here contacted people in London, and at the end we saw interview all over the newspaper. I think it was good that said what he said. When I asked him how was it, he said it was the easiest entrance. I think the idea of that we all somehow responded to this crazy act, it made some kind of a difference in the way the custom patrol interacted with us, with people like us. But I still don't know where this is going.
So tonight here at LPO, we are doing the Band 7. It's a concert that Hadi Eldebak is putting together, featuring musicians and music from the 7 countries that were banned by the executive order. I've been reading about it since, and you know, just in terms of science and medicine, art, music, we as Americans gain so much from the brilliance that you can find anywhere in the world, including the Middle East. Personally, to know Kinan and know the breadth of his work and his, not to mention his technical ability, just the fact that we're shutting someone like him out is just a travesty. So it's very shocking.
I just wanted to quickly greet them and just share a little bit of a story from my perspective as a Japanese American. In the 40s, my family was incarcerated by America. We were put in camps in the middle of nowhere. Executive Order 9066, signed on February 19th, 1942 by President Roosevelt, called for the mass incarceration of 120,000 Japanese American men, women, and children, as well as thousands of German Americans and Italian Americans. We were placed in barbed wire camps across the United States. My mother was actually conceived in one. Executive Order 13769, aka the Muslim ban, signed less than a month ago by this administration, is an attempt to divide us once again.
What you're witnessing here are musicians not only from the 7 banned countries, but also from different cultural and artistic backgrounds. What we're trying to do tonight is to give you a highlight of the music from different cultures.
For me, it's incredible to think that, you know, one signature can change the life of so many people. We've seen that in history, throughout the documented history. It's amazing, and there are people who are not affected by the ban, not necessarily people who were affected, but people who felt they had to go to the airport and demonstrate defending values they believe in. And for me, it was a very interesting thing to see the disconnection between values that were actually happen outside the airport versus values that were tried to be implemented at borders control.
I've been friends with Kinan Azmeh for probably about 10 years now. When I heard about this travel ban, I immediately texted him and found out that he was stuck in Lebanon. It has such a strong impact when you have a deep personal connection with someone who's directly affected by these things, these decisions that are made by people who don't have those kinds of personal relationships.
I mean, I hope that there will be some kind of positive outcome from this. Maybe people will be discovering more music from countries that were on this list. You have to be proactive. You have to go at it. You know, keep doing what you do. I think history moves forward, and what's right has to happen.